Why have you disturbed us?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Discord. Once again, Mike Papp doing the introduction. We got Mr. Roy Reedmark over here. And also Matt. How do you say your last name? Nigber. From Pi, Paranormal Investigation Equipment. We're going to try to keep it pretty short tonight. We are going to talk about some of our favorite rants. We'll do the top 6 tonight. Let's start it off with, why the hell do we investigate at night?
Okay, so first of all, we want to know why we investigate at night? Because ghosts only come out at night. There, done deal. There, I won. That's
You
it.
sound like 90% of all the paranormalists out
That's
there.
all. That's all that matters.
Oh, okay.
Because
So,
we are right and you are wrong, sir.
all right. Well, let's be honest here. Why are we investigating at night, or actually in the dark? Well, if you talk to the true believers out there, they're going to say because all the nasty little ghosts hide in the shadows, and the only thing that you can record is what? Ultrasonic sounds and fuzzy photos with the lights off. Personally, I think this is complete bull crap. Okay? If you talk to your client, which you should be doing, you're going to learn that most of the times they actually, witness paranormal activity. It's in daylight, it's in the morning hours, it's when they're in their bedroom with the, about to go to sleep. Tons of stories that have nothing to do with darkness. So the real reason that we actually investigate in night is to add the scare factor, because no one likes paranormal investigations that don't feel a little bit creepy. So you got all these friggin' guys that think they're paranormal investigators, and they go out, bring out those fancy little cameras that, glow in the dark and light up friggin' the unknown, that we can't see with our eyes. And you know what? Does it help? We really want to talk about, what the hell is going on here. So, Roy, do you believe that turning the lights off makes anything?
Obviously not, because, again, like you said, everybody does it because it's on television, right? Nobody knows why they do it. Everybody has this belief that, ghosts only come out at the witching hour, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and in the dark. You can only see stuff in the dark. It makes no sense, because you talk to a client. Most of them will say, I saw this ghost. What time did you see it? I saw it in the middle of the day. I saw it in the morning. Or, I saw it in the light with the lights on. I mean, it's not a big deal. But yeah, we still go in and ignore everything they say. And we're going to turn off all the lights, turn off your electricity or whatever. And we're going to sit there and investigate, which makes no goddamn sense whatsoever. Okay? That was the Periscope broadcast.
Okay.
We are live on Periscope right now at the same time.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
I would have dressed better.
you never dress better. It doesn't matter. And Matt's got his bowling shirt on, everybody.
I'm ready to bowl.
We're rocking the
He's
bowling
seen too
gear.
much
Rocking
of
the
Joe
bowling.
Rogan. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm just a fat Italian mobster.
But, I mean, if you really think about it,
Now,
it makes no sense, because I've even, nobody sees stuff in the dark.
well, that's my big thing. I mean, if I'm really trying to look at the paranormal investigation, as a scientific means, why do I want to do it where my eyes don't friggin' work? Where you're staring in the darkness. Oh yeah, you turn the lights off, you're always going to see friggin' clouds moving over there, mist forming. It's because your eyes are adjusting to the lack of light. It's like, hey, let's really get this really cool picture with a little friggin' $2 flashlight that I bought at Walmart. It's garbage. Let's
Talking about a mag light.
What's up?
Talking about a mag light or what?
I'm just saying any kind of light source. Why would you want to light up a dark space with just a little flashlight when you can?
It's
actually
creepy.
see it? Let's open it up to Matt over here, and he's going to explain why he loves investigating during the dark.
I don't.
Like, I mean, all right, you're the equipment expert, so I'm saying, do you see any vantage point of, going in and on the dark?
No, not really in the dark. You can go in the day. People always want like IR cameras because that's what's on TV. Is they see these green IR cameras or whatever. Personally, I like the full spectrum camera because that's the actual full spectrum. If you can see it with the naked eye, then you should be able to see it with a camera that is the full spectrum.
So you're basically saying do it with the lights on and use the best technology out there. With why limit yourself to any of the field range of
Yeah,
the light
you can
sensitivity?
use full spectrum during the day, and that shows. I mean,
Okay, well,
why limit yourself?
Why do you need to use full spectrum?
because it'll show the full spectrum, the UV light to what the naked eye sees to IR light. It shows the whole thing. It doesn't limit it to just IR or just UV or just what the naked eye sees. It's the whole entire spectrum.
So you're basically just opening up, your parameters for your.
It's just a wider view.
That's great.
Yeah,
I could agree with that.
No, I mean, it still doesn't make sense. People need to get away from it. Stop watching television, people. It's not real. It's entertainment, okay? Just because they do it doesn't mean you should do it. Apparently, that doesnn't sink in to everybody.
I got to agree there.
All right, so we do want to segue into a related topic because people do investigate in the dark. People also apparently don't know what they're doing because they do investigate in the dark and they don't research, they don't do anything. So they follow what everybody else is doing. So we look at paranormal television and we use it, we just do what they do, right? They jump into stuff, they go, oh, I want to see ghosts too. I want to see the werewolf and I want to see all this, the Native American ghosts are supposed to be out there and everything. And they just rush in without doing, they buy hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of equipment, or they just rush in and they start doing this stuff without knowing anything. I mean, anything. It actually is very irritating and infuriating sometimes.
So this is rant number 2. Know your equipment, know what you're doing before you actually get out there in the field.
Well, research the equipment and the area you're investigating.
Well, I mean yes,
as,
equipment, absolutely. I mean,
well, you still should know
Now,
a little bit about what happened where you're investigating. But
why does anything have to happen there?
Well, no, you should know. Okay, maybe not. Then the history. If it's a
history of K2 meters.
If it's a mine, no. If it's a gold mine, if it was a copper mine, what happened there, just the whole history of it.
But see, I do agree with you. You should know the history about everything going on there. To me, that kind of takes away a little bit, though, because, when I try to explore the paranormal a little bit, I kind of want to just be like, hey, let me go in there with a clear slate and not really know, and I can actually perceive what's going on.
Well, that would be your preference. You know what I mean? What I would refer to is...
or have
like he said, know what your equipment does, right? But kind of, okay, so you're going into, even if you're going into people like this Native American Indian burial ground or whatever, and they go on without any knowledge of Native American history, lore, or anything like that, right? Or we walk into a place, oh, they did a satanic ritual here. Okay, well, do you know anything at all about satanic ritual? I mean, it's a taboo subject. Everybody, wants to know about Christianity. A lot of people don't even know about that fully. But they walk in and they see things and they don't know what it is, so they automatically jump to conclusions. Or, hey, we investigate in the dark. Well, why don't we? Because your eyes make patterns of things, and then you see a bunch of crap that's not actually there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But I just want to interject and say, I do know everything because I was trained online. So, I'm a devout believer, sir.
So you're a internet-trained demonologist? Is that what's going on? Or
that's just wonderful. I was reading through my D&D books earlier, and so I proclaimed myself to be...
That's not internet-trained.
Well, actually, there is the internet, or D&D online now.
Is there?
Yeah, it's a game.
I know what it is. Thank you, though.
But, you learn a lot. You learn about Beasley above and Ball. And, we could even go to Diablo 3 or Diablo 2.
That's right.
Ball, the seventh layer of hell.
We were playing 3, yeah.
So I'm a demonologist just by playing video games.
That's right. So you're right.
But in this field, you can self-proclaim yourself anything.
Well, nobody would know any better.
I mean, obviously. I mean, look at this. We're doing a podcast, and we proclaim we know everything.
I don't, well, it depends on who you ask.
No. And once again, we would like to tell everyone that we are very actually open-minded to everyone's beliefs out there. We are not one-sided. We want everyone to come in here and bring up their, own beliefs, and this is just a debate, a talk. So please don't take offense to what we say, but that's how it is because you're listening to our show, baby.
So let's bring up number 3 here.
And you're gonna have to read that because all I see is a lot of scribbling.
It's not in Chinese, brother. And that is one of probably your pet peeves, right? That's your self-proclaimed group of feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Okay. Rant number 3. The group of feelings.
So, And you're referring to the groups that have no other proof besides the fact of I felt this and I could feel the energy and I felt that someone terrible died or something terrible happened here.
I would like to take it a step further. I actually hate all groups that are basically a combination of psychics, some kind of mediums, and I don't know. I guess people that like to use parlor tricks. But anyway, basically, what I'm trying to say here is that if your group opens the door on a new case and they automatically go, "Do you feel that air? It's heavy." Just walk out of the door. Don't even contribute. Okay.
How many times have we been before a case and someone goes, "Oh, it doesn't feel right here," and he goes to a client and it says, "The air is heavy. I feel that there's something demonic here."
Especially at the beginning of the case, the client opens the door and the first thing you say, "Oh my God, there's a presence here," and it's all based on feeling. Okay. Now, before I get a whole bunch of hate mail, okay, let's be honest. I believe explore every possibility. Okay, is it possible that there are people out there with these intense feelings? I don't know. The only intense feelings I have is for hate and anything else. But
and if you go to poop,
so I am open to the ideal, but the problem is I don't believe explaining the paranormal with something that is not already, a proven fact. So basically, we're using one friggin' unexplainable friggin' power, to explain something that's paranormal. I can't go with it. To me, it's bull, So there's nothing wrong with bringing elements of feelings in there. Of course, every investigator that goes out in the field and actually, hey, I felt that. I mean, did you really feel a presence? Did you feel something touch you? Those are good feeling abstracts. But if you go in and the air is heavy or, it's dark, I feel something. Of course you feel something. You feel intimidation. You feel fear. You are going to a house that you probably talked to the client, which I completely am against, and ask them, hey, what's going on? And they tell you that they had a 3-foot little demon named Bisley Bob in their room with, 6 friggin' inch fingers and a whole bunch of stuff. Of course, you're going to get spooked out. Okay, this is intimidation. We are investigating the paranormal. It's fear. That's the only feeling you're going to have. Grow up, okay, and actually do an investigation.
Ouch. Hey, you know what? I know how you feel.
Sorry, that was one of my particular big rants. So.
And I may.
Do you agree? Or am I
Equipment.
completely out of line?
No, I mean, I've always been that. I've already said it before. I have to see it to believe it. So just because someone sits there and says, I feel that this happened, or like you said, the air is heavy, or oh my God, I feel this crazy pain in my neck. Did someone in here die of a neck wound, right? I'm going to sit there and roll my eyes at you unless you have something to back it up, right? That's just how I am. I'm not going to believe it. I'll be like, hey, that's great. You might believe that you felt something. Maybe you do. I'm not going to say you don't. But I'm not programmed to automatically accept that as an excuse.
Here's a case where I say feelings might come in. Okay, I'm running videotape, I'm running audio, okay, and I'm watching something in daylight hours, and I see an object move across the table, I hear it, I got it on video, I might have a photo. And from the other room, you hear, I just felt something, or I just, heard in my mind that something was going to roll this bottle across the table. Okay, you could kind of maybe
That's
take
fantastic.
that. I'm just saying, am I
like,
right?
good for you, buddy.
But I'm just saying, now with some other components, I can maybe look at a feeling as, hey, maybe this kind of fits. But random feelings, leave that for when you're, in your bedroom with your girlfriend. That's where feelings belong.
That's where random feelings belong, or feelings in general?
Feelings in general. Everywhere else is a blank statement.
So we can't have feelings at all?
No, absolutely not.
So maybe like mindless drone going in? Or what?
Exactly. Call me the board. And...
So wait, before we move on.
You want to go on?
Oh.
What?
Thoughts?
I don't know. I just feel that if,
Oh, Jesus!
Here we go again.
if someone can walk into a place and say, I feel this, why wouldn't they be able to, grab your arm, and then, if they're a true medium, they should be able to you should be able, by them grabbing your arm, whatever, You should be able to feel the same thing they're feeling.
Okay, I agree. And you kind of opened like a point that I would.
And
love
if
to
they're
make.
not feeling, if you don't feel anything, then I would say they're not feeling anything.
Personally, if you have this ultimate power to feel things in other rooms, blah blah blah, or see imagery of everything, why even do an investigation? You can sit at home and just friggin' feel it from across the board. It's like, or now. Let's say I don't know 100% how mediums work. A lot of people say they have to be in close proximity of an object or where a scene of crime happened. Blah blah blah. And we're when we say medium, we're taking the broader scope on there. That can be
psychics,
clairvoyance. Whatever you want to go. The whole mainstream of people that feel through their mind's eye. Let's say.
What were you gonna say? I saw him bite his tongue on that one. But so. We always talked about a kind of a test that I always wanted to do with people that always claim that they were mediums, and take them to several houses and, take them to a house that was actually reported to be haunted and see what they come up with, see who nails it down and there goes, oh, this one's not haunted, this one's not haunted, oh, wait, this one's haunted, stuff like, just little tests that you can do.
Where you kind of know the back history of everything going on there. You did the investigation yourself. You have, proof or not.
Kind of like the one we always said, take people into just a non-haunted building and tell them it's haunted or something like that, and see what they come up with.
Personally, I think you're going to have feelings when you tell them, hey, this was haunted. This is what was reported. You start reading that stuff in there, you have a campfire story. They're going to keep on building upon each other and building. And next thing you know, this little kid or not a little kid, this paranormal investigation is basically going, oh, I feel this, I feel that, and blah, blah, blah. But does it have any, point in the actual investigation? I don't think so.
But if you did that test deal where you took them to different houses, what they would come back more than likely and say is the same thing that investigators say. You can go to the house and there'll be nothing there, and then you can go back there the next weekend and you're going to get tons of evidence or
personally
whatever.
What I think they're going to say.
Well, but you should be able,
and that's what they're going to say.
If you've seen television, sir, you should be able to sit there and say, hey, there is a presence in that house. Okay, sir, you should know your television.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if they say, well, I don't feel anything, and being a medium isn't an exact science. I
don't have a problem with them saying I don't feel anything. That's what I want to hear.
No, I know, but they're going to make an excuse why they don't.
But see, and if they're actually a trained mentalist or whatever you want to call it, friggin', a lot of them are going to say, well, I need background history. I need everything, because their whole power or ability, which is usually learned, is just basically an innate observation, power. So they basically, read your friggin', the way you talk, basically, read the environment, and if with a little bit of back history, they can pretty much guess what's going on, and they make you think that they know what they're doing, But that's saying that there is a whole bunch of people that scam people out there, and it does exist. But I'm hoping that most people, or that just go out there and the group of feelings, are just people that think they have this wonderful gift. And I don't know, who knows? Prove me otherwise, and then I'll start believing.
All right, so number 4.
I still can't read it.
Okay, shut your mouth. Okay, you bald bastard. Okay, hold on one second. All right, and we kind of brought it up, and that is people watching television and using that as their training ground, whether it is or it is not correct. They will sit there and, you know what? I'm going to do this because Ghost Hunters does it. I'm going to do this because Ghost Stalkers does this. I'm going to scream like a child because Ghost Stalkers does it whenever I get scared.
I think this is a great topic for Mr. Matt over here. So, when was K2 meters? When did they become their debut? Right? There should be some kind of reference points when.
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, but
because when did they came out
popular?
When did they become popular? No, usually
not when did they come over from China. I said when did they come over become popular?
Probably when, I don't know the exact date, but I'm guessing probably when the TV show started, because they use them.
There we go. Exactly.
That's probably when
Before
it became.
That they
became popular. There were always people into it.
Something else.
But you wouldn't see the explosion that you have now because all the
Well,
entertainment
and
shows
that's
out
pretty
there.
much in it, and a lot of the equipment, because, like, for example, the well, there's different
Spirit
things.
boxes,
Spirit
the
well,
Ovilus.
no, I'm talking about
What
stuff
happened
that's
was-
made for other things. Like you got the EMF meters, the K2s. They were made for electricians to find, broken wires
Or safety hazards, that kind of thing.
the thermal imaging camera that was for AC people.
Insulation,
So
yeah.
so you could see where there's air conditioning leaks or heating leaks, and then they brought that over to the paranormal, and using it as a tool.
Oh, that's my favorite. Is people using those like thermal cams
So
in a
yeah,
cramped little
I mean,
apartment, aka, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So and then you get reflections off everywhere, mirrors and heat signatures everywhere, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at that!" And I'm looking and going, "Dude, that's just a reflection. That's a heat signature. Stop
Residual-
thinking everything's paranormal."
Residual heat from fat investigation. Gators walking by, and
Wearing
there's
heels.
a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, like I said, I leave a heat signature everywhere I go.
Sir, that was uncalled for.
Why?
Completely uncalled for.
Anyway,
But they do it with they do it with anything. So like
and again,
now,
it's not just equipment.
well, now you have the
It's
big one.
ideologies.
So now you have Ghost Adventures, who tries a little bit of everything. They have the mediums on there. They have everything on there, and people will do the Ouija board thing and the tarot thing because you see them do it. Still, again,
I mean, now here's the thing, though. I mean, the problem in the field of paranormal is that on the TV shows they're always looking for the new upcoming thing, something to garner attention. Can you really blame people going out there and trying to imitate?
right, but they fake it so that it.
Oh yeah,
looks
how
good, so
they can
people
make
buy it.
sales. And the problem is honestly, like I've done it myself. First time I started hearing of a devil's toy box, we went out and built one. Now the reason was because we want to say bullshit. And you can't go out and buy a devil's toy box, so you just make one. Going out there to try to disprove, or even hey, maybe this device does work, or maybe this does, and you want to try to do a scientific investigation, based. Hey, is this true? Is this not? Hey, that's actually not too bad. But what we're just trying to say is that use
Say
your
hi to the
mind.
one viewer.
Stop relying on TV personalities to dictate your ideology and your investigation techniques. There's nothing wrong with going out there and exploring the possibility with some new equipment. But know where it's coming from. Usually it's a rating driver. And they want it sold. And
hold on, wait, what's the word for it?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Sensationalism.
That's a whole nother topic, sir, and that's going to be addressed later.
It's the same thing, though. It falls into the same thing, So, real quick, because we got some time left.
I think we only hit,
25 minutes and 14 seconds.
I only think we hit 5. Did we hit 6 yet?
No, we're on 5.
We're on 5
okay.
right now.
So, next topic, numero 5.
I still can't read it.
Open-mindedness. Open-mindedness.
Absolutely. All right. Open-mindedness. Now, this is actually one that... Did you want to take it?
No, so let's just admit first, before you go with it, that 99.9% of groups are not open-minded, right? So, because my experience, I take the time to research kind of everything just because I enjoy it, So, I've researched, witchcraft, Wicca, more, it's a derogatory term I don't like to use, but more of the pagan religions. I've taken time to research Satanism because we run across people who claim Satanism a lot in this, doing what we do. And I've been called a witch, or I've been called a Satanist myself just because I actually know something about it. And that is
You'd
what's
be a
called
warlock.
closed-minded.
You wouldn't be a witch, you'd be a warlock.
No, you'd be a witch.
No, witch is a... Oh,
No, absolutely.
oh my feeling is hurt.
Absolutely, I agree, and I really wasn't listening to what you were saying. But
Be like normal.
yeah, no, exactly. I was just going with my feelings. Open-mindedness. This is actually something that being a kind of a skeptical group here. A lot of people will attack us and say we're not open-minded. I am one of the most open-minded individuals.
Open-minded.
You can bring
It's a me, Mario.
you can bring any aspect of the paranormal and your belief, and you know what? If that's your belief, go with it. The only thing I ask is show me something that, actually can prove or give some kind of backing to your belief. That's all I ask. But in this field, we have to be open-minded. We really have to be, I always say, leave no stone unturned. So, go out there, explore, do what you guys do best, which is probably,
Ramble on for half an hour.
absolutely, it's wonderful. I do like this Guinness. Thank you. Anyway.
That's the last one, so don't get used to it.
All right, that's it. But yes, no, you got to be open-minded in this field, okay? Because let's say there's no one ideology, there's no one, typical stereotype paranormal, way presentation that explains it all. I said, the religious people, the believers, the skeptical people, the people that are like, hey, show me the evidence, show me the money, kind of thing. Actually, is that trademark? So now we probably owe money to. Yeah.
Show me the money is not trademark.
So, what I'm trying to say is...
I can't sue you. You have no money to show them.
Yeah, I know. I can afford Guinness.
One.
Be open-minded. Don't discredit people just because of their beliefs, but, force them to actually say, hey, we have these beliefs for a reason. And if you fall back, and like I said, I don't like talking about religion and all that kind of stuff, but if you revert back to a book and say, this is my belief because of this, that's wonderful, and I'm going to take you for, what you believe, but give me more. Give me something that you caught on tape. Give me something that you caught in your investigations,
Wait a minute. Seriously, what are you talking about? You're wandering.
I wanted to stay away from biblical,
No, you don't have to get into biblical. So one of my goals really is to make religious tolerance, okay? So anything different than the norm. So what they call neo-paganism, it's a rise of paganism all over again. People do not... I'm serious, it's a real thing. Stop.
No, absolutely.
And trust me, I did not come up with the name. It's actually something that I saw online because I'm an expert when I see things online. People don't tolerate. So if you sit there and say, I'm a Wiccan, or I'm this, or I'm that, if anything other than the mainstream religions, a lot of times you're going to get frowned upon, right?
Actually, I look highly on those people because at least they're engaging in.
You do,
yeah.
But you're not the majority of people.
That hurt.
You actually mean less to me than the majority of people.
That's awesome. That hurt again. Thank you. I'm going to go cry.
That hurt your feeling?
No, not really. I don't have them.
But so people, it's just because people don't understand, right? And that's my
Or they're
biggest
not-
thing when I come to open-mindedness. People go the Ouija boards, the tarot cards, the things like
Satanism.
right. And so we had a case a while back where, and all three of us were there, where we had an ex-Satanist, right? Mm-hmm. And the first thing I did was I said, look, I'm probably in this subject one of the more knowledgeable people you're going to find because I do it because I like to learn about other religions. That's just something I like to do. What do you think the majority of people would say if I sit there and go, hey, I have not an extensive, because it doesn't really exist, but I have an extensive or a bigger knowledge on Satanism. What are people going to call me? Satanist.
I was going to get to that.
What?
An online Satanist.
Online Satanist? Is there such a thing, really?
Well, I mean, honestly, your beliefs are going to dictate how people, take you.
But it's not even beliefs. I don't believe in it. I'm not a Satanist.
Well, that's good.
But I mean, it's just my...
Is that good or bad? No. Anyway, go on.
No, but they would think you were just by you saying...
Exactly. And well, I got called that by my own team members, right? I did an interview a couple years ago, and because we were talking about it, and I said, hey, look, I know about these things, and we started talking about it. Next day, what did I hear? Oh, he's a witch. Oh, he's a Satanist.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially in the interview when I specifically said I was Buddhist, right?
personally, I think you should be studying all those,
All of them.
different takes on religions and everything. How you can actually know the client, you can know the case, that
Well-
you're actually on. It helps you. I mean, how many times I help you countlessly, on these cases?
Well,
because
we
you
hear it
can
all the
relate.
time.
You can, we've gone to a couple cases where we found.
Ouija boards, right?
Well, I'm talking about really more abstract pagan.
Oh, yeah,
magic,
absolutely.
Items,
Absolutely.
I mean, so, from goat mass, dark,
Oh,
a
jeez.
whole bunch of stuff.
House
and,
cleansing in a can.
and you can kind of relate. Okay, it's not my take on things.
That was
but,
one of the
You're
scariest
burning
cases
cross
ever.
in this back room.
Oh, dude, that case, I thought we were all gonna die in that case, and it's
mean,
not because of any ghosts. Trust me.
Oh no, it's just that sometimes the friggin' clients are scarier than the cases.
Oh man, I was scared.
And I'm not taking sides on a religion. Hey, bring it. Belief is belief.
Well, everybody pretty much believes their own religion. If you're Catholic, you believe Catholic. It's like the Vatican's, all they do is...
So wait. So you're saying if you're Catholic, you believe Catholic, and if you're Christian, you believe Christian, and if you're Buddhist, you believe
Pretty
Buddhist? Okay. Point taken. Honestly. No, honestly.
Sir, you're kind of the people that I'm battling against. You need to be more
Well,
open-minded.
no, what I'm saying is, like, you see all the exorcisms from the Vaticans. Well,
Actually,
Those
but
are
you
mentally
say-
ill patients, sir.
But there's forms of exorcism with voodoo practices. There's a whole bunch of things.
Where in the world do the most exorcisms take place?
Africa, voodoo areas.
Africa.
Yep.
Yep.
Good.
Why?
We're on page. We're on point, bro.
Why?
That's
But-
right.
but-
Why though? Why?
Yeah, probably
Because these guys charge for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So these priests are going around doing tons of 40 a day, and they're charging for each one of them.
In Africa.
Yep.
Really?
so what? But what I'm saying, yeah, I'm sure they're in every religion. They have their
They're
version.
formed from Native American
Jinns?
smudgings to
Well,
whatever you want to do. Which is-
smudging is
I'm just saying.
Native American, sir.
That's what I just said. I said from Native American smudgings. You didn't hear me?
Don't be a bald bastard.
We can replay it. We are
Well,
recording
what I'm
this.
saying is, most of the movies and things you see is about the Catholic exorcism, like a normal
Because that is
exorcism.
one of the, next to like Islam, you got the biggest religions, right? So
Right,
of course,
but
sir,
What
that's
I'm
what.
saying is, if you're not, that goes back to having your keeping your mind open, because
That's just the most.
if you're
common-
if, you
every-
only, if you're only in, let's say, Catholic, you only believe, exorcism, you can only get possessed if you're Catholic.
Okay,
Well, no.
point taken.
Well,
but
they're the only
okay,
ones that believe in demons, right?
right? No. So that's the point. So say if you're going on residential cases, right? Not all the clients you're going to go to are Catholic.
Right.
So you having a broad base of knowledge, whether you believe or don't believe in the religion, is just a good idea. I mean, how are you going to sit there and whether the place is haunted or not, but the client thinks it is? How are you going to help the client if you have no idea what the hell she's talking about, what the hell he's talking about? You're not. What you're going to do is you're going to use an obelisk, and when it says the word worm, you're going to Google it and tell them it's the ninth demon in hell, and that their place is completely haunted, and you should burn the house down and move away.
Well, no. Normally, what happens?
That's
with
what you would do,
obelisk is
sir.
It'll say apple, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, this demon must like apples. The demon that lives here must like apples," and that's what.
Well, it would say several obtuse
That would
words,
be
and then you'd link them
Kareth,
together.
the seventh layer demon of hell.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Sorry, that comes directly from my D&D book over there.
the apple loving. Demon.
Yeah, he likes apples and virgins.
So,
if
Matt,
ever
you
go-
would be included in that.
So if you ever go into a investigation at a private house and they have a bowl full of apples, then you know.
Absolutely. You know what?
They're
Every case
Oh,
we go
there
on
you
from
go.
now on, we're bringing apples and our monster compendium. Monster encyclopedia from D&D. How we can know what we're encountering.
There you go.
Seventh layer photoplasm, I don't know, something like that.
That's the same
I
color
just
of
walk
Matt's shirt
into
today.
when I do investigation. I just walk into the house and say Beetlejuice 3 times, and
Oh, really?
Oh,
We're
snap.
doing that, dude. We got to try that. Chuck,
Wait, can we go to the
your daughter.
mirror and do a Bloody Mary thing, or what's going on?
Oh, we actually tried that. The Bloody Mary.
or I'll get out my
I did
Oh.
paint my body red, though.
Charlie game or whatever that is.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
I was still to that day. I've only been to that one house that actually covered all the mirrors. Remember that? Some creepy
I would
ass shit, man.
to me, I want to have fun on cases. I would love to go into a room, do Bloody Mary, and to carry him in with a friggin' pot full of goat's blood, throw it on me, and run out. Oh I think
my
it would
God.
be friggin' hilarious, you know. But anyway.
There's this in Cary, sir.
Well, the only reason that that one client covered her mirrors was because she had a paranormal group before that said you need to cover.
No,
your
that
mirrors.
wasn't them. I think that was the. So before we went, we were told that the Catholic Church had gotten involved, right? And then it turns out it was a African voodoo priest, I think, who told her to do it.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't know.
That was
But
the lady that had all the pigeons.
But like I said, you know, we have to be open-minded, and who knows? Maybe there was demons coming, you know, portaling through these mirrors.
okay. So question.
I have a
which
lot of
leads-
mirrors in my house. I never get any.
Which leads into number 6 here. Okay, why do we actually only investigate things? Why? So any place that we investigate has something bad has to have happened there. All right. So the first thing we go, hey, we've got an investigation here at this movie theater, whatever. And the first question out of somebody's mouth is what?
What happened here?
Who died?
Who died? Who won? Yeah.
That's because on TV they only investigate.
But you know, my
Hospitals
my
or
biggest
something where
point
people
on this
died.
whole topic would be simply, Earth's been around a long time. You know, personally, everywhere you've been, something bad happened. I mean, be it, you know, humans or whatever.
And,
you
and
know,
this is
hominid,
something
whatever.
we've talked about before, because generally you should be able to drive down the street and see shit happen. Because
Absolutely,
I mean,
dude.
you have battlegrounds everywhere. I mean, they should be right in your backyard. Why does it have to be in a building? And because in 1987 someone was brutally murdered here, or he hung
Well, that goes
himself,
back
that's the only
to-
time it happens.
Knowing what you're doing, you know, at least know what happened on that property in 1800s or whatever. Was it a battleground? Was it just
You know,
something that
it's interesting. You know, when I go on cases, I do like knowing some of the back history of the area. You know, to me, I'd rather have a more like a soil comparison or something. I like to see what kind of elements are in the ground, stuff like that. You know, for more like of a scientific study.
So-
But I'm saying, you know, history is history. You know, the problem is that when you know, hey, there was a big battle here, you go with perceived notions, you know, to a case where, you know, you might be looking for something. Now, on a side note, though, do we find more at, you know, locations that have these natural disasters or, you know, mass suicides, war? Is there more going off? I don't know. To me, I don't think it really matters. I think personally, you know,
Okay, so was this the time to bring in our other theory, right? So just because
that theory.
no,
Really, that one?
Yeah, that theory.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about. Very baby.
Go.
Okay, so so we've been to several cases where people complain about seeing an old lady walking around. I don't know if you remember that one. Anyway, there's probably tons of
It's a
them.
blur.
Okay, but we walk in a bunch of them where you and I don't like to know what's happened at the residence, but we end up finding that hey, these people hate each other, or hey. Maybe instead of something, because we can't find anything that's bad that's happened here. It's just stuff that's happening supposedly. What about the self-generating?
Are you talking polters? Polters?
But not as a poltergeist that people like to think it is. But poltergeist is not really just a noisy ghost. That's bullshit. What it is really is the recurring spontaneous psychokinesis. Sir.
And what textbook did you get this out of?
It's called parapsychology, sir. Just because you're wearing a nice collared shirt doesn't make you smartest man in the room, okay?
Hey, I've been schooled.
In?
I don't know. I don't know, driving 101.
But that would also, because the majority of the cases I've gone on, at least, I can't say for everybody, this has been the case.
Well, that's what we contributed to. You know, we didn't get the signs of the specter or whatever that's probably there. So of course we automatically say, oh, there's, you know, a lot of people always revert back to that. You know, there's a lot of energy in here, energy. So you know, is there a manifestation? You know, and they always link this parapsychology.
What do you mean we always do?
Parapsychologists love to always go back when there's something going on, but you don't have any correlation. They automatically say it's a poltergeist. There's energy in there. Someone's drawing from the hate in this room. You know what?
You do have to, okay, so whether or not that may always be the case, you do have to give it up to the fact that a lot of the ones we go to
I mean,
There
I
are
believe,
some serious family issues. I mean, serious family issues.
Absolutely.
And they're like, the guy will
Absolutely.
hate his wife. Like, flat out, you can see it. Hate his wife. And we're there, we find zero evidence.
let me debunk that whole thing for you, okay? I work in a jail, okay? There's a lot of people that hate me every time I walk around, okay? And straight out, I don't see things flying around. I don't see a whole bunch of friggin' negative
That
energy
doesn't debunk
causing,
it, sir.
You know, and there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that
How
really
many people
hate
die
life.
in that jail?
There's a lot.
But underneath the city is there a
Oh, no,
river of
it's-
ectoplasm.
You know, good point. You know, and
River of
our
slime.
tonight's
Yeah.
case, our night.
What
tonight's
the-
guest,
what?
Wilson. See, never mind. If you want to go there,
I don't know what the hell you're talking about right now.
dude. All right.
Yeah, you're
Thumbs
fired.
down.
You're fired. All right, so
I got it.
why you got to throw it all off like that? Sir, it's just not cool.
I was just trying to derail you really quick because it looks like we're pretty much.
No, we have one more, sir.
Oh, we do. Oh, man.
Your
That's
favorite.
number 7, though. You said we were only. I said we were only doing 6.
We're still doing because we have a few minutes left.
Okay, this is not really a full 7. This is kind of like an add-on, and I believe it says
Self-feeding ideology, sir.
self-feeding ideology.
This is your topic, I believe.
Yeah, I know, and I kind of had a rant to go with it, but I kind of lost it in the.
And your terrible joke you just tried to pull?
No, it wasn't a joke. You know, the joke is that you're
Okay,
actually
so what your idea, before I throw something at you, just because you've been doing this for a long time obviously makes you an expert, right?
Well, and that, okay, so basically, the problem that I have is that who tells people that they are good at the paranormal, okay, or actually has paranormal investigations? You know, every team that goes out there has this self-reported ideology. We are the best. We're number 1 because we use these techniques. This is what we have, you know, and the problem is that you're not being, you know, peer reviewed by anyone else, you know, unless you're like, you know, one of the, you know, the hit teams out there that, you know, other teams are reviewing you, but they don't know what you're doing. They don't really know. So it's not really a good peer review, you know. So you get a lot of these guys out there, these teams that just think they're the ultimate source of the paranormal, you know, and
But I contribute that to more people wanting the attention, saying that they're the greatest, and put me on TV, please.
you know, well, everyone wants to be on TV. You know, go for them. You know, so you know, let them go. That's their, you know, their route. But I'm saying the self-feeding ideology is that you know, take a step back, you know, and really look at yourself. Why are you the best? It's because we have this. Let your evidence speak for, you know, itself.
Because you have sound scientific.
You know, well, I mean, you know, can you get, you know, I mean, a lot of people argue, can you be scientific in the realm of something that's not scientific? I mean, the paranormal studies, is it really scientific? Some people are going to argue, yes, there's this absolute thing. And you know what? 75% of the time, they're going to be getting nothing, which I love.
More
you
than
know,
75%.
You know, but, you know, the paranormal, it's a realm of, you know, the unknown. So, you know, I'm a little bit more open-minded. I would say, you know, use science, but bring other elements there to test them out. But you can anything you can do, you can have a science basis to it. You know, from Ouija boards to, you know, you know, I don't mind. Let's draw a pentagram on the friggin' floor, light some candles, and summon Beelzebub. I don't care. You know, but try to reproduce it. You know, oh, well, at this house we didn't get it, but at this house, God damn it, demon was summoned. You know, but back it up. You know,
Sir, what makes you a professional?
absolutely nothing.
Why are you a professional ghost hunter, sir?
I never said I was. I just say that, you know what, I have pretty good, strong beliefs, okay, that I kind of back up with some kind of the evidence that I have. You know, do I know it all? Absolutely not.
But you think you're better than me. Why
I have
is
a piece
that?
of paper hanging on the wall that says
I don't have
into
to
a
think
ghost
that, sir.
hunter.
So,
Online.
that's true. I mean, well, okay, since you want to go there. So, I recently came across an article about a online reverend to some really no-name church who certifies people in demonology. For only $199, you too, sir, can be certified, and you can go out and fight demons on a regular basis and go to people's homes and cleanse them of these evil and foul beasts. Until you look it up, until you find out that this guy is a no-name and he's on a fraud thing. But I wonder how many people actually pay that. It's the same thing for people who ask you to pay for their ghost hunting classes online. I go, sorry, sir. Yeah, you just paid $50 for jack shit. Because it means nothing. Because if you might mean something to that group and they might treat you better, but when you come over to me, I'm going to be like, okay, that means nothing because their style is different from mine and I'm better than they are. Self-feeding ideology,
Well,
baby.
that would be like someone coming to your group and you're like, well, why should you be in my group? And they say, well, I was on TV with Zach Bagans.
So that doesn't mean anything.
I know, exactly. It wouldn't mean anything. It'd be like,
You could have
okay.
fallen ass backwards into
But they're
that. How do
gonna
I know
say,
you mean
I
anything?
investigated with him, so, you know,
Maybe you're his cousin. I don't know that.
I'm not his cousin.
Maybe he just thinks you're attractive.
Does he look Italian? Does he look like a fat Italian mobster?
He could be Italian mobster. I don't know about fat.
Aren't you Hungarian?
No.
Lutheran?
Polish.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Ah.
Anyway, so it's just one of these things. It's the same thing that makes me kind of turn. Another thing that makes me turn off to this is that I can sit there and look at you and say, I've been doing this for
That would turn you off
15 years.
instantly.
Yes. I can say, I've been doing this for 15 years, which in fact I have not. But how could you double check any references? Oh, wait, there are none. This isn't a job where you have a resume. I could sit there and say, oh, yeah, but before this group I was doing it on my own, which could be complete bullshit. You know nothing, and yet you're going to claim yourself to be expert. Which I've seen people put
Now,
stuff on websites saying that
let's
they're a
turn
demonologist, and I go, really, what did you do? Oh, I took an online course, sir.
Let's turn it around here. Now, do you believe there are people that are better or expert in the field of paranormal investigation?
There is no experts in anything because it's an unknown. Now, there are people that research more and take the time to do it, but there are no
so,
experts.
I mean, so you have to give it to them that, you know,
You
there
can
are
be-
people that are more, you know, better I say it, educated.
There's
or-
only
Educated,
There's
yes.
only a
You
few
know.
people in the world that are actually demonologists. I mean, you know, they,
Well, and right. I mean, to me,
and that
like,
and that comes from experience, not from like some course. or
right. But it's
something.
like, okay, so I read a lot and I study into parapsychology. Do I call myself a parapsychologist? Fuck no, because I'm not. I call myself a parapsychology researcher because I enjoy it, right? It'd be like, again, you're reading a book and there's demonology. Now, you can have an expert in the equipment because that's the only solid thing that you have. I know the ins and outs of this equipment, how it works, and what it's supposed to do. Right? That's really the only equipment. You could say, hey, look, I know the ins and outs of the Christian religion, and I could sit there and relate
me.
everything to...
Absolutely.
Well, I
to
don't
ghosts,
think you could
or-
do that. I mean, you really can't have a professional for anything that there's no proof for.
Well, but I mean, so if you studied the Christian religion or you studied Islam
let's
religion
change the term.
and you did that.
Expert, but now, in the field of parapsychology or paranormal friggin' investigations, do you have someone that you kind of would like to mentor? Is there people to you that you say, hey, this guy might know what's going on? I mean,
No.
does that exist everywhere? Or anywhere? I mean,
I think people that I would want to mentor, is that what you're referring
Yes.
to? No, I haven't met anybody like that because everybody,
you're conceited, sir.
no.
Absolutely.
And that's just because everybody jumps into it and doesn't really want to learn. They just want to go. And they want to go to houses and they want to sit there and jump to conclusions. Nobody wants to put in the time. This is
There
like a
has to be
second job.
someone. I mean, this is a scientific pursuit. There has to be someone out there that knows
no.
more than us.
Well, of course there is. Of
Okay,
course there are. But I'm saying, have I met them? Have I met the people that have
You're
the drive?
nobody.
No. I'm not even talking about the knowledge. I'm talking about people who have the drive to go out there and learn and do it on their own time. This is like a second job, man. This isn't something I can do every once in a while and just show up to cases. No, this is something I read books, massive amounts. This is time I spent researching and studying and looking into equipment and getting to know people who know things. This is time that you put in. Have I found anybody that has that kind of passion for it? No. Not anybody who wants to learn it, not people who's not just trying to sell themselves. No, I have not. Mic drop.
Ouch.
Mic drop.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, me, I'm just, I kind of look at it as, I'm definitely open to the possibility that people can bring me new techniques and everything, but I would have to see it in, in action and go, hey, this might be interesting. I wouldn't want to imitate it. I would like to maybe repeat it, see if I get similar results.
Well, okay, so I've even seen groups do different experiments and message them saying, hey, I would like to do the same thing that you're doing, and let's compare results.
Absolutely.
Okay, did they get back to me?
Absolutely not.
No, hell no, because nobody wants to share anything.
That brings up a great point. If everyone shared everything, we could correlate.
No, because then you have nothing to set yourself apart to get yourself on television, sir.
It's not about the TV.
It is. That's the problem.
Let's face it. Do you believe that the paranormal field is, a very cutthroat, field when it comes to people that are trying to get their, teams out there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, of course, people don't want to share stuff. Personally, I think if we all shared stuff, okay, and actually said, hey, this is pretty quick, pretty cool. This is what you got. This is what you got. Show me the proof,
We wouldn't be called pseudoscience then.
To me, it would be better because you're like, okay, you caught that? Well, I didn't. Or I did catch this. Man, if we get one of those, now you have 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams, 5 teams that actually go, holy crap, this is actually happening in this house. You know what I mean? It just, reinforces the evidence that you could have. So open up. Grab the arm of another team, do a little dance, start getting out there. And,
I gave him the wrap-up signal, and he had a brain freeze.
Look, to me, it was a swirly symbol, and I was just like, what?
Oh, you want me to like...
So with that ending note...
yeah, on that freeze, and he just killed the entire podcast in 2 seconds.
Well, don't give me swirly signs.
That's the wrap-it-up signal.
Oh, no.
What is the wrap-it-up signal?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, you got nothing.
I really don't.
All right, so that's it for this edition of Paranormal Discord Podcast. Join us next time where we will have more rants to go over. And soon, actually, we're going to be bringing on some guests to go over, and we'll have some videos up. And check out our website at paranormaldiscord.com.
And don't forget, please give a little like or dislike. We would love to hear your feedback. Bring it to us. If you don't like what we're saying, let us know about it, please.
Visit Matt on paranormalinvestigationsequipment.com. He actually will be coming out with a new piece of equipment pretty soon, the what do you call it?
Self-recording Rodaway diode.
Okay, so instead of actually having to hook to a recorder, this one will actually have a memory card installed. It's actually quite revolutionary. And
that will be soon seen on Tech Talk.
Anyway, thank you everybody for joining. I still have some beer left. Well, I think we cut this a little short. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Have a good night.